What's up everybody, Stella Chung here, and on today's Gaming Fix, Shigeru Miyamoto says Nintendo's strength is more than just video games. Final Fantasy artist Yoshitaka Amano redesigned Cuphead, and a salute to one of the best video game bosses, presented by The Consultant, premiering February 24th only on Prime. Let's get to it. If you think it's weird that we're suddenly getting a Mario movie and a Mario theme park, get used to it, because Shigeru Miyamoto believes Nintendo's strengths are in its characters, not just its games. While promoting the opening of the Super Mario World at Universal Studios, Mr. Miyamoto spoke to IGN and gave some insight into Nintendo's philosophy. Nintendo has a lot of characters, he explained. I think that sometimes Nintendo gets tossed in with other companies in the field of video games. But we've got to think that Nintendo's biggest strength is its characters and how that is used in different types of media beyond just games. It's worth noting that the company had been making toys and playing cards for almost a century by the time the NES was released. So video games are a relatively new business venture in the grand scheme of things. This wealth of characters are clearly a part in the Super Nintendo world. With this theme park here, we have a place where people of all ages can come, Miyamoto continued. Some people may not even know who that Mario guy is, but a grandma can say, no, I've heard this guy Mario is here, let's go. And through sharing that experience with their grandkids, they can have something they can talk with their grandkids about. It's a little weird to imagine a grandma who's better informed about Mario than our grandkids, but sure, I get the point. Miyamoto went on to say, trying to leverage all the characters we have and not just limiting ourselves to games, but finding the best media for the characters to thrive in is something we really want to keep an eye on. On top of the theme park, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is also a few months away, which has some fans wondering if we'll see more Nintendo movies, and it certainly sounds like a possibility. As for when we'll see a new Mario game, Miyamoto was coy, saying that Nintendo is always working on Mario games. In other news, McDonald's continues to sell hamburgers and water continues to be wet. Moving on, this probably wasn't on anyone's bingo card, but legendary Final Fantasy artist Yoshitaka Amano just showed off some killer Cuphead fan art. Posted on the official Twitter of Cuphead developer studio MDHR, Amano's trademark flowing painterly style is on full display. And while it might take a second to register, he's given Cuphead, Mugman, and Miss Chalice a gorgeous fantasy overhaul that unsurprisingly looks more like something out of an epic JRPG than a cartoony platformer. Also pictured is Amano's spin on Cuphead's devil, who is a hell of a lot scarier than he is in the original game. This collaboration is in honor of the hit indie game Superdeluxe Japanese physical release on Switch. Amano's art will adorn the soundtrack that comes with the game, but will only be included on first-run copies of this version, so it's safe to assume that this will become quite the collector's item. Luckily, pre-orders are being accepted globally, so get it while you can. It's priced at 4,073 yen on Amazon Japan, which is just over $30 in the US, which is dirt cheap as far as collector's editions go. It's expected to ship April 20th of this year. Blaze it. Cuphead first hit Xbox and PC back in 2017 and has since made its way to other platforms, gotten some excellent DLC, and even been adapted into a Netflix cartoon. Amano, meanwhile, was the character designer for the first 6 mainline Final Fantasy games, and has kept busy designing the logos for new entries since. Hopefully this awesome illustration gets turned into a print or a poster at some point. Or a shirt. Phone cover, Switch case, really anything. If you got Amano to do some custom work, don't just hide that on a CD cover. At the very least, use it for a limited edition vinyl LP release too. Finally, we're celebrating Prime's The Consultant, premiering February 24th. The show is set within the office of an LA-based gaming company and stars a terrifying Christoph Waltz as the ultimate nightmare boss. We asked some of our IGN staff about the toughest bosses they've encountered, from video games, of course. Let's keep this safe for work. Here's Alan talking about one of the first fantasy characters Amano didn't design. Alan?
My favorite tough boss from a video game has got to be Sephiroth's battle from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Well, that's an interesting sword you're carrying.
There's so many elements about this fight that are iconic. From the backdrop of a corrupted Radiant Garden, the chaos of avoiding his swarms of darkness orbs, to the anxiety-inducing low-health sound effects of the game mixed with Sephiroth's theme. I think it must have taken me dozens, if not hundreds of times to beat him. At the end of the day, defeating him unlocks a pretty awesome Keyblade. But the real reward was the satisfaction of knowing that you just beat one of the toughest enemies in the game.
But what about you? What's your favorite video game boss fight? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to stream Prime's The Consultant, premiering February 24th, only on Prime. That's your fix for February 20th, 2023. If you missed it last week, head on over to IGN and check out our review of the PlayStation VR 2 and a bunch of the launch lineup. I'll see you later.